Hey, what's up everyone, it's Ray and welcome to this new video. This video is going to be a Black Dragon Slayer guide, so let's get right onto the video. Its combat level is 227, it has 1900 life points and it attacks with melee or its fire breath. His max hit is 210 and 550 with his fire breath, but you can easily cancel this out with an anti-dragon shield or an anti-fire potion. His Slayer level requirement is 1, but since it isn't really a Slayer monster, but you can get it assigned by some Slayer monsters. And his habitat is either the Taverly Dungeon, the Evil Chicken Lair, and the Wilderness. But the only thing I'm going to show you is the Evil Chicken Lair, since this is the least crowded spot. Now for the inventory and gear setup, I have 3 different setups shown on the screen right now, from left to right, from best to worst. Now, the reason why I showed the Torva setup, because in every Slayer guide I make, there are a few haters who say, yeah, it's not the best setup, you also have Torva and Pernix and Virtus. Now, for that sake, I just put it in, but I guess most of you, or at least the ones who are watching my guides, the ones who already know how to do Black Dragons have the Torva and the Pernix and Virtus, so I just put it in for the sake of it and an inventory setup. As you can see, I have a Bando setup and a D-Height setup. And as you can see, the 2 best ones don't have anti-dragon shields or dragon fire shields. The reason for this is because I put in some super anti-fires, which acts as an anti-fire and an anti-dragon shield slash DFS in one. Of course, if you don't have super anti-fires or the level to make super anti-fires, you should switch up the Dragon Defender with an anti-dragon shield or a dragon fire shield, so you can get some normal anti-fires. Same thing with the extremes. If you don't have extremes, use super potions. Now for the first setup, we have Helm of Nadesnot and Glory, Fire Cape, anti-dragon shields, dragon boots, Barrow's gloves, and a Berserker ring. Now the D-Height can be switched up by proselytes. I just fancy having Dragon Hide, because if my prayer runs out, I still have some defense left, because at this setup it is totally based on protecting melee. So I'll be using Turmoil and protect melee. If you don't have Turmoil, don't worry, you can still do this task, just won't be as fast. So you can switch the D-Hide up with Proselyte or Initiate. I think it's called Initiate. And if you have any better gear, you can switch it up, of course. And if you don't have a Berserker ring, like I do, you can equip the Slayer ring. As you can see in the inventory, there's a Slayer ring who tells you how many you still need to do. You can also substitute this with an enchanted gem, but I just have the Slayer ring, so I will take that one. Now I have a super attack and super strength. I don't have the super defense, since, as I said, I will be protecting melee, so you won't really need the defense. And I have 4 anti-fires, which should be enough to complete the entire task, or at least a big part, so you have to bank at least once. I brought a War Tortoise, so you can bank the bones. You don't have to take that, you can also take anything else, or a Terror Bird if you only have that, and a one-click teleport out. The reason why I have the raw chicken in my inventory is because, as I said in the last clip, we're gonna kill them in the chicken lair. And if you don't meet the requirements for that, I'll put the requirements on the screen later on. If you don't have the requirements, you can also kill them in the Taverly Dungeon, which is also a quite good place, and there might be a few bots there, but I'm not completely sure. The second the second setup is the Bando setup. Of course, if you don't have the full setup as it is shown here, you can always you can also substitute with the first setup anything. Let's say you don't have a Fury, you can substitute the Fury with the Glory, or the other way around. Now we have the fighter hats, Fire Cape, full Bandos, Berserker ring, Dragon Defender, since in this setup we will be using super anti-fires, and a Chaotic Rapier. The extreme sets, again, not the extreme defense. In this setup we won't be praying melee, but I guess people who have full Bandos and extremes also have a higher defense level, so you won't get hit as much. And as you can see, my familiar is a Unicorn Stallion with some scrolls. If you don't know what the Unicorn Stallion does, when you use the special attack, it will heal 15% of your total life points, or your total HP, let's just say that. And if you have 99 HP, it will actually heal 150 per scroll. so you won't really need the protect melee. Also, I have a bone crusher in my inventory because, yeah, if you don't want to have the dragon bones, you just want to finish up the entire task with one inventory, you can use that, so you don't have to pick them up and bury them every time, so you can get some nice prayer experience. Again, the Slayer ring, you can substitute that by enchanted gem and a one-click teleport out. And again, the raw chicken, but if you don't meet the requirements to go there, you can also go to the Taverly dungeon. Now the last setup, as I said, this is just for the show. Full Torva if you have it. Only 2 super anti-fires this time, since you have full Torva, and most people with full Torva are probably maxed out or close to maxed out, so you can complete the task quite quick. And an extreme set. If you want to use overloads, that's fine with me, but I don't recommend it. I don't recommend wasting overloads on Slayer task. I'd rather just use some extremes. And also some less prayer potions, since we won't be protecting melee since you have full Torva, and you will be using turmoil the entire task, but since the task lasts a little bit shorter, you won't need as many prayer potions. Now we have a yak, so you can bank the bones, so you won't need to make a few trips to the bank. So if you don't know what the pack yak does, first of all, it stores 30 items, which is amazing, and second of all, the special attack, which is the winter storage scroll, banks the items for you. So and again, the bone crusher, if you want to. If you don't want to and use the yak, that's fine with me. Also a Slayer ring. Again, as I told you in the different setups, you can also substitute that with an enchanted gem, and again the raw chicken. Now for getting there, you should start out at Lumbridge, which is the most convenient. You can just home teleport there. Once there, you can walk a little bit south, so you can enter the swamp. Now, if you walk a little bit west and a little bit south, you will see a house which you can enter. If you want to enter it and actually go to Zenaris, which is the elven place, you'll need either a Draven staff or a Lunar staff, or you need to have completed Fairy Tale Part 3, so you don't need that. Once you teleport it, you'll see a chicken shrine. Use your raw chicken there and you'll be automatically teleported to the place where the black dragons are. Now once you're there, make sure, if you didn't bring your anti-dragon shield but a dragon defender and you're counting on your super anti-fires, you either drink your super anti-fire before you use the raw chicken or immediately once you get in there. Otherwise, if it hits a fire breath, it can hit up to 500s. Also drink your extreme or your super sets and make sure your quick prayers are either on turmoil or turmoil and protect from melee, depends on what setup you're using. As you can see on screen, I'm using the lower level setup without the Slayer helmet since I'm not on a Slayer task right now. But if you are on a Slayer task, make sure with every setup you substitute your helm with a Slayer helmet or a full Slayer helmet. Also make sure, if you are planning on picking up the dragon bones, make sure the world is quite empty, so you have at least 2 dragons next to each other. Otherwise you have to run quite a bit and it will slow you down if you want to pick up all the dragon bones and dragon hides. Now if you don't meet the requirements to go to the chicken lair, you can also kill them in the Taverly dungeon. I'm not going to show you the entire way, I'll just show you a screenshot of me drawing out the lines how to get there. First of all, you start at Falador, you're at the bank, climb over the wall, go to the Taverly dungeon. Now there are 2 lines, the black line and the red line. For the red line you'll need 70 agility, you can crawl through a pipe. You need 70 agility for that, so you go past the blue dragons and past the poisonous spiders and to the black dragons. There are 2 of them there. It might be a little bit bosses, there might be other people there. That's why I recommend the other place, the chicken lair. And if you want to go for the black line, you will need a dusty key, otherwise you can't get past the door at the blue dragons. So yeah, I hope this helped. I'm not going to show you all the way, because I'm mainly focusing on the chicken lair one. Now, as you can see on screen, I've shown you 3 drops which are quite interesting. The far left one is the dragon bone, the far right one is the black dragon hide, and the middle one is the draconic visage. The left and the right one are 100% drops of the black dragons, so you'll get them every drop. So they are quite good money makers if you want to bank them all. If you're on a Slayer task and you want to finish the Slayer task quite quickly, I don't recommend that. And the middle one is the Draconic Visage, which is extremely rare. In my entire RuneScape career, I've only gotten one, and it wasn't even from a black dragon, it was from a frost dragon. But since the free trades, they dropped immense. They were about 35 million, now they're 8.6 million. When I got my drop, they were 15 mil, so I did make quite a bit of money off of those. But if you see one lying around, definitely pick one up, since it is 8.6 mil, and who doesn't want 8.6 mil? So these are the drops you should consider taking or picking up and banking if you want to. On screen you will see the charm drop rates, and as you can see, as if with every dragon, to be honest, the green charm is dropped the most. 2% for the blue charm, 7% for the crimson charm, 27% for the green charm, and 9% for the gold charm. The chance of no getting a charm is 55%. So they are average charm droppers if you want green charms. But if you're going for something like 99 summoning, or you want some fast summoning experience, I don't really recommend these for getting a lot of charms. Well, this was the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed and appreciate what I do. Please give this video a thumbs up, so it helps me to know what videos you enjoy, what videos you don't enjoy. Please, in the comments, give me some feedback, some tips, also some tops, what went well, and whatever. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. Watch for further videos, and goodbye.